Okay, we got all the parts out here, cleaned up in acetone, dried out. I have a pot of warm water. You just got to bring this to a boil. Alright, now here is the hydrogen peroxide. This is 40% solution, so I don't know what the other 60% is, probably water, but this is some strong stuff. So if you get this on your hands, it's going to burn pretty bad until you get it all washed off and get like oil all over your hands to get it to kind of rehydrate your hands, but don't want to get this on your clothes or yourself. So I'm just going to add that to the water here and bring this to a boil. I don't know if you guys can see the difference in color. This one in my left hand is a lot darker brown than this one, which is probably a lot older of a bear too. It's bigger, but we'll see how that cleans up. So carefully put that in. Wow, look at that. I'll put the two jaw bones in from the same bear. Let it do its thing. I'm going to put the cat in there. And the two cat jawbone pieces. Oh. And then both of their, or this is from a different bear, but these two skull pieces, we'll put that in there. Looks like that's pretty hot, so I'm going to turn off the propane. And we still got room, so here's the two jawbone pieces from the other bear. Throw that in there. And here are the teeth from the other bear and cat, so we can put that in there. There we go. Now here are the other teeth from the other bear, so let's dip those in too. Hopefully we don't get them all mixed up. I can probably just let this sit on the table here. Get all the air out of there. Yep, like that. Probably get this other bear in there now. There we go. And basically just let that sit until all the teeth right there are pearly white. We could add a little bit more water to that just to bring that level up to cover everything. There we go. We'll just let that sit. Okay, so while I got all this going on, I have 3 skulls in there, all their jaw pieces, all their teeth. I have the teeth right here for the newest bear because I just had so many teeth in there I didn't want to have to sort them out for hours and hours. So I went and got my very first bear skull. This thing is tiny, but as you can see, it's kind of gotten yellow. I didn't have the best peroxide bath when I did this one, so I'm going to re-dip this and hope that this is the last time I have to do that. But the teeth turned out flawless on this one. I mean, so white. I don't know if you can really see, but super white. Everything turned out great. Does not smell bad. It's white other than the fact that some of the oils kind of started leaching out. And I did clean this with acetone, but I didn't soak it in acetone, and I'm not sure if that may have made a difference. Either way, I'm going to re-dip it, get this thing whitened, and then probably come fall time, if I have a buck or an elk or something, or another mountain lion I want to do, we'll check back on this one and the other ones and see how they do and if I need to modify my process at all. Here's the jaw from that. I'm going to leave that in there and just see what happens. Just like that. Okay, it's getting there. Not bad. Oh, that's getting there too. You can see the teeth back, the back molars are a lot cleaner now than they were when we first started this. Oh, here's the other bear. Oh yeah, look at those teeth. Definitely different. Alright, on this nice smoky Montana evening, this has been in here for about 45 minutes since I've first dipped the first part in. So the teeth are still kind of yellow in some spots. I'm not too worried about that. This bear's teeth are very much so yellow, and I don't know how to fix that. That's just going to have to stay that way. The other parts, let's see. This is my very first bear. Still pretty yellow. The teeth, when I dipped this first, it was overnight, and the teeth got just flawlessly whitened. So I'll dip that back in. Let that sit probably a few more hours, whatever it takes. And here's the biggest bear, very white, teeth yellow, but not bad. Again, I probably mixed that peroxide. I probably had like a liter of it, and I have probably about 15 liters of water here, maybe more. So it's pretty low concentration right now, so it's definitely going to take a while. I just want to get all the other stuff out so I get a good look at it all. Oh, this thing looks really nice now. Wow, that is white. That is white. Very nice. Teeth are flawless. Very nice. Alright, and the other bear. I definitely need to get some good pair of tongs or something. I don't want to touch this peroxide. Alright, and this bear is pretty much the same as the other parts. So, probably won't hurt to leave him in here for another couple hours. I really want to get all that brown completely off. So we'll just do that. Put that back in. Rotate this peroxide out. Whether or not you need to, I don't know. Yep, just like that. And we'll leave that for a few more hours. Alright, the sun's setting really nice. Awesome views. Let's check up on our stuff. Teeth definitely look a lot whiter now. Let's look at this bear. Oh, don't want to lose my teeth, so let's take these out. Let's look at this. This is the old bear, I believe. Oh yeah, look how white that just got. That just completely took out most of that yellow. I guess you can't really tell that because the sun's literally shining through the skull and looks yellow, but it definitely looks a lot whiter to me. So I'll set that aside. I wouldn't mind keeping it in there even longer than that. And here's the other one, just the monster skull. Nice. Definitely better. Look at those teeth. A lot whiter. A lot cleaner. We'll just leave this in here. Looks like it's doing very well. No need to pull it out. And the lion looks extremely white. Awesome. So we're doing really good there. We'll just keep this stuff in here for a few more hours. Maybe even leave it on in here overnight. Wouldn't be a horrible idea. And we'll put this one back in. Beautiful. Okay, so this is now been sitting all the way overnight. It's about 8 o'clock and I put it on about 6 o'clock last night. So this has been in here for 14 hours? Something like that, 14 hours. So as you can see, it attracted a couple moths in there. This brown is from my sifter, so the sifter's kind of started rusting, so I was kind of going to just clean up some of this stuff on the surface. Get this stuff out of here, just like that. Get this stuff out of here, bunch of flies. But I took out the teeth right before I made this video, and they're very white, very nice. Definitely whitened up. Now let's check on the rest of this because I have not checked any of this yet. Those teeth, pretty white. Those are off of my newest bear. I was so confused why there were so few teeth for a second. Yeah, that's pretty white. Now here's my oldest bear. Very white now. So it was very yellow, as you guys saw yesterday. Looks beautiful now. Now the cat, also very white. That's not really sizzling anymore, so I'm guessing it's pretty much all completely oxidized now. So maybe the idea is just to leave it until it stops bubbling. And there's that one. Super white. Teeth still a little bit yellow, but that's okay. I can live with that. The rest of this is pretty great. Just got back from boating, huckleberry picking. I had these all out of the peroxide but not rinsed off, and they were pretty much dry, but some parts were still wet in the peroxide at the bottom of the pot. So I just took them all out of the peroxide, dumped the peroxide, and just filled this pot full of clean cold water. And now you just gotta take all the parts and rinse them off, leave them in the sun for a little bit. So just like that, give them a nice good rinse, get all that peroxide out of there. Nice cold water feels really good since it's 100 degrees right now. And pretty much just wash off any little residue, little grass, anything. Check all that inside of that. Make sure there's no pieces of anything, no dirt. Throughout this whole process, it was pretty easy to get these dirty and get them full of random stuff. But as you can see, this skull is so clean and so white. I love it. Turned out really great. The teeth are a little bit yellow. I'm not really worried about that. This is an old bear. This is a small old bear, so it's pretty expected, but it did clean up pretty nice. Everything else I did care about. So rinse that off and put it in the sun. So here's my very first bear. Rinse that off really, really well. This one I obviously kind of blew out all the nasal cavity parts in there. Sadly. So rinse that off really, really well. Get all the bubbles out. Make sure water gets into everything. See, really no bubbles coming out, so you know the whole thing is full and it sinks. Perfect. And then just rinse it all out, let it kind of flow out of that nasal cavity so it washes everything out. And then put it in the sun. And here's last year's bear. These nasal cavity areas turned out really nice compared to that small one right there, the first one. But just like that, dip it in, shake it around a little bit. This should dilute all that peroxide. Just like that. Looks wonderful. And all the holes where the teeth were all cleaned out. The teeth here looked very, very clean and white. Definitely the younger the bear is, the whiter the teeth turn out. Looks like. So put that in the sun. On to the next one. It's crazy how big this lion was and how small its skull is. I'll be missing a tooth out of this bigger one because I had to pull a tooth for Fish and Game. Oh, lost a tooth. Just like that, lost a tooth. These are the teeth off the biggest bear, and you can see they're still pretty yellow. I'm not too worried about it. Could have let him sit probably for another day or two or more and get him whiter, but that's fine by me. Yep, just like that. I'll let all this dry out. And then we glue everything together. Did kind of want to put some of these jaw pieces together while they're still wet and soft. It's easier to do this now. See, just like that. A lot easier to do it now while they're wet. And that way when they kind of shrink, they'll lock together. Same thing there. Kind of easier to let them dry like that. Yep. And then this one. Beautiful. Just like that. Just kind of let that sit like that. I just got them all out in the sun more, just to get a better sun bleach. I put the pliers on that set because they weren't holding, and that kind of, the pressure on top of them kind of held them together. So hopefully it kind of solidifies like that as they dry. Alright y'all, well it's finally time to put them all together. So we have all of the parts out here. They are fully dried, they are very white, and they're ready to get finalized. So I mean, that is like printer paper white right there. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. Here's my biggest, baddest bear I've ever killed, and this one turned out perfect. So white, even the teeth, very white. They were pretty yellow, but it looks like sitting in the sun for a few days actually kind of whitened them up even more. Everything inside the nose looks great. So this one is ready for final assembly. So I'll take him inside and we can do that. Okay, so here I have all the parts in front of me. I'm going to be using some super glue. I used the Loctite brand. This is just a really good container, it never dries out. Awesome stuff. And then I've used silicone before. I'm going to try hot glue this time to kind of glue the teeth back together and keep them inside. Don't want to use super glue because I don't want it to set that fast before I could even get the tooth in the spot that I want it. I didn't want it to grab while I got the tooth halfway in, so just going to use some hot glue kind of at the bottom and just to seal that tooth in the spot. Okay, so now the final step. You got to get all these pieces, combine them to make them look like that. Now most of these have the teeth separated, so I got to go through all the teeth, put them all in the right spot. When I'm fully sure that that's where they go, then I'm going to start gluing them. This is my oldest bear. I just reassembled this. It was only a few teeth that I took out of this, and a little bit of super glue, a little bit of hot glue works wonders getting this stuff all back together. I have used silicone in the past, and that does work. It dries a long time, and that's sometimes a good thing. The hot glue here does not take long to set, so you better know that all your spots, all your pieces are in the right spots before you stick them in with hot glue on them. So I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to start going through all these teeth. Cat teeth are very sharp, look like little mini mountains. Kind of remind me of like a shark tooth or something. The bear teeth look a lot flatter. These are the back, the molars, but then their canine teeth are huge. And if it doesn't just fall right in the spot, it is not the right tooth. And usually the bottoms are smaller than the tops. And they've got this little line kind of going down the center of the tooth on one side than the other. The lines go on the inside. So, just like that. And just fell right in. Same thing with the tops, they're a little bit bigger. Put the little lines on the inside. Six little teeth up front at the bottom, 6 little teeth at the top. And this is going to be the hard part. Okay. 8 more to go. So all these big ones are now done. These are all the bears. Found it. There it goes. Fell right in. Beautiful. Nice. Just like that, and I just got to get the bottoms in on here, and we're golden. Okay, and there's all the bottom teeth. So that is so awesome. I don't lose any of the cat's front teeth. It means all this is parts from the bear. Whew, what a relief. Okay, I definitely need to glue these back together. Sometimes if you can't fit two pieces like this together, it helps to kind of get it wet with water. It'll make it a little softer and you can force them together and then it'll dry. But yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this back in here. I'm getting there. So, but before I glue these teeth, I want to make sure these two jaws fit and the teeth mesh together before I will set the teeth. And I'm going to let this one sit back a little bit and dry off. Things like this definitely helps putting a couple drops of glue on that just to keep that from breaking easily. If you have to, you could come in on the inside and do it. Be careful with the teeth. Just let that sit for a bit. This is where it helps to have some kind of long curing glue, like a silicone, clear silicone, so that you can just glue all the teeth together. They're not going to fall out while you test fit them, and then you can just mesh the two together and leave it like that for a couple days and they will solidify in that spot. So, and then these are the parts from the cat. Now I can move on to this bear. You could probably start off gluing all of the loose parts as well. Set that aside. I'm going to now glue the two jaw pieces together.